Let's talk about women, safety, and cruising. Is it safe for women to cruise? Let's get into it. Now, I want to talk about this because I am a longtime cruiser. I have been cruising for a hot minute. My very first cruise was back in 2004, so I've been doing this for 21 years. And over these 21 years, I've seen a lot. I truly have. And by and large, I just want to start off by saying I think that cruising is very safe for women. Well, as safe as women can be. Because, well, the world's a shitty place for women, let's be real. Just like a woman should never let her guard down on land, a woman should never let her guard down at sea either. I realize that when we go on vacation, we want to let our guard down and we want to cut loose and be carefree. But the truth is, when you're a woman, you always have to kind of be on the lookout because you never know. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to do this. But the world isn't perfect, and we do need to look after ourselves. I also want to point out that statistically speaking, a woman is much less likely to be assaulted at sea than they are at home on land. The reason why you're hearing about these crazy stories that happen out at sea is because they're much less common. So here are some things that I do that make me feel safer and that maybe will make you feel safer as well. Number 1, I watch my drinks carefully. Do I think that my drinks will probably be fine? Absolutely. Do I watch too much Dateline and am probably just being overly cautious? Again, absolutely. Would I rather be safe than sorry? Absolutely. I always think it's just a good idea to watch your drinks and watch them closely because you never know. And I must say, I have known at least 3 women who have been roofied on land. And in all 3 instances, it was very scary. And in all 3 instances, they had no idea who did it. So I just think it's a good idea, period. Number 2, I don't drink too much unless I have at least 2 other people that I know are going to make sure I'm safe and that I'm going to get back to my cabin okay. The truth is, as I'm getting older, I just don't drink like that anymore. The headaches, the hangovers, not worth it. If you know, you know. But back in the day when I could hold my liquor a little bit better, yeah, I always made sure that I had safe people with me or I just wasn't going to get tipsy at all. Being intoxicated makes you vulnerable to a lot of things. Bad decisions, slips and falls, and also sadly can make you a target for predators. I've found that by just staying sober or making sure that I don't really have any drinks that make me tipsy unless I'm with people that I trust, that it just eliminates some basic problems from even happening to begin with. I like a good cocktail and I like a good glass of wine, but not at the expense of my safety or the safety of others. Number 3, when I'm going on a cruise ship by myself somewhere, I always make sure that my phone has a good charge on it and that I let people know where I'm going. For the most part, I do feel safe and comfortable going anywhere I want to go and don't feel like I have to always have somebody with me. I just think that it's a really good idea to let people know where I am in case, something were to happen. I know a lot of people who don't do this and they're fine. But for me, a Dateline girly, it's just something that I've always done and will probably always continue to do. The people that I'm cruising with know where to find me. And I always make sure to physically check back in with the people I'm cruising with at least every couple of hours. Number 4, if I have been drinking at all, I don't go anywhere near the balcony rails or the ship rails. I know it's extremely difficult to fall off. It's very difficult. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just going to say it's not very likely that you're going to fall overboard. It has to usually be intentional. But I still do not in any way, shape, or form give myself any credit and just avoid railings altogether if I've even had as little as 1 glass of wine. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to say, Mandy, it's fine. My favorite thing to do is drink too much wine and sit on my balcony. And honey, if you love that, I love that for you. But again, I watch Dateline and your girl doesn't take any chances. Number 5, if I don't know you that well, meaning if I've just met you within the last few days, I'm not going anywhere with you that doesn't have a ton of people around. I'm just not. Male, female, I don't care. We are not hanging out anywhere that doesn't have at least 10 other people around. And maybe you're the most wonderful person on the planet. Maybe you are so harmless and fantastic and sweet as pie. I'm not going to be alone with you. First off, I have social anxiety, so the chance of that even getting to that level is almost none anyway. But on the rare occasions when I have made really nice connections with new people, again, I watch Dateline. I'm going to need at least 10 other people around at all times. Sorry, not sorry. And last, but certainly not least, number 6. I do not take a cruise with any man or any woman who has ever made me feel physically or emotionally unsafe. Now, this is a hard rule that I learned from watching my marriage blow up in the middle of the ocean several years ago to my first husband. If you know, you know. But I cannot tell you how important it is to make sure that the people you are cruising with are safe people. Because the majority of the time, when unsafe things happen at sea, they're happening with people that you went on your vacation with. I've talked about this at length on many of my other videos about how people have these magical ideas that once they get on a vacation, people will be better, people will be different. Honey, they won't. They won't. If somebody is problematic on land, they're going to be even more problematic at sea. And because of the tight quarters and because that it's almost impossible to get away from somebody, please, please do not cruise with anyone that has ever made you feel emotionally or physically unsafe. I literally cannot stress this enough. It is not worth it. Even if you think they'll be fine, even if you're sure it'll probably be okay, it's just not worth the risk. Anyway, these are the things that I do. I still feel very strongly that cruising is safe, but just like you do at home, you have to look out for yourself at sea too.